Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
You are listening to the Brilliance Business Show. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. Conversations with leading experts in business. And today I have the most wonderful guest, Annie Koshy. Annie is a branding strategist, and our topic today is empower individuals to be true to their personal story and branding. Annie, welcome to the Brilliance Business Show.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, Mark. Thank you for the invitation.
Annie, I'm really looking forward to a conversation with you. Before I get started, I just need to make a legal disclaimer that Annie is not offering legal advice or legal assistance. So let's get started with the show. Annie, I know a lot about you because you're a personal friend, but for our listeners, can you share a little bit about yourself and your business?
Absolutely. My journey really began as an educator, and that was where I found myself getting a background in education and teaching. And I was teaching internationally. And the level that I was teaching at was very, very high. I was an IB teacher. I was trained in the middle years program as well as in the primary years program. I also went on to get my training in TEFL and TESOL. And so I was teaching English, and I found myself returning back from my international teaching in 2009. When I returned, I was pretty burnt out as a teacher. I had done my best that I could. I'd given everything I could, and that was the level to which I couldn't perform beyond what I had done. I perfected what I felt was my best ability. I needed to hone other skills. So when I returned back, I left teaching, I hung up that hat and moved into database management for the next, I would say 6 to 7 years. That's what I did. Is I was working in database management, and I was managing and learning databases and managing the fundraising aspect of various not-for-profits. But even that wasn't really making me happy, Mark. I was doing a job, and it wasn't really my passion. I think for me, the true pivot happened when I decided that I wanted to take something that I was doing on the side, and that was I was recognized for my voice. I had always been asked to host events. I had been hosting on the weekend and doing things privately for various events, and I decided that I wanted to move that into more of a main center focus. And that's when life really started to change. And I started to live my passion. And when I started to really live my passion and live every moment in my passion, the work changed from being work to something that I truly enjoyed. And I really play and work together. And it's a coined term that's an Urban Dictionary term called ploric. And it is playing and working together. And that's how I live my life today, is I play at what I work.
And it takes a lot of courage, because I'm resonating with what you're saying, because I was a hairdresser. I didn't like my job anymore, and I followed my passion to do what I'm doing today. You did the same, and it takes a lot of courage to really follow your passion, and it takes time to build your business as an entrepreneur, but it's so worth it once you have got that momentum. Now, you appear in films, you're an actress as well. Just tell our listeners a little bit more about your business today, your focus, and who you support.
You know, I think for me, it was always a dream. There were a couple of things that I had in my bucket list of things that I wanted to accomplish. And everyone has grown up with, Guinness World and Ripley's and all of that. Well, for me, it was like, wow, how do these individuals do that? So one of the first changes that happened for me was my decision that I wanted to, in some way or shape or form, have my name recognized, have my work recognized, have my story heard. And all of that's really come to truth right now. I hold a Guinness World Record. I'm a part of a successful attempt at a Guinness World Record that happened at the start of this year. And for me, that was an amazing moment because it's something that has been eternalized, and I have a record for that. It is one of the things that really started this year off. In this year, many accomplishments have happened. My first film that I was in that received a lot of acknowledgement for is called A Bloody Mess by Aziz Sethi, and that is a film on menstruation. That film has won or been nominated and selected or has won over 30 awards and selections. That's incredible on its own. My second film is a biopic on my life called Fear, Face Everything and Rise. And that is really the sort of a tagline that I live by is I face everything and I rise from those moments. Fear was just released in October and is doing the festival circuit mark. And in just a short 2 months, we have now won our 15th either award or nomination. And that is incredible already. We're waiting to hear from dozens and dozens more. And I expect that to move forward tremendously this year and in the next year. The other major accomplishment this year has been my book, which is called How to Be Your Badass Self, a guide to using your inner energy for brand success. It takes a huge amount of effort, as you know yourself, to take something that's in your head and put it down on paper. And then once you do that, it's like giving birth. And in this case, it's like a giraffe baby. As I say, it took 2 years to give birth to it. And that is my true accomplishment this year, is the birth of my book. It takes what I was always called upon as being someone who was knowledgeable to now becoming an expert. The book has been doing really well. I've received 2 awards for it already, and it stayed number 1 as hottest new release in Amazon for several weeks. It's available globally and is in several bookstores as well.
Congratulations on all of your successes for being a Guinness Book record holder. That's absolutely incredible. The success of your 2 films and the launch of your book. These are big achievements, Annie, and it's inspiring for our listeners to hear this, to know these achievements are to be had. People can go out and follow their passions. Yes, it will take hard work. Yes, you have to put focus and determination, but you will get to these results if you give the energy to your passions and desires. Now, Annie, you're known as the branding ninja. Tell us a little bit about that. Who are your customers?
Well, I think that one of the first things that I took a look at is when I launched my company was how was I going to take my vision, which was in my head and maybe just in amongst a small group of people that I'd shared it with, how am I going to extrapolate that and make it something that is going to be able to leverage and access the type of individuals, the type of businesses, and the type of impact that I truly wanted to make. One of the things that I really had to work on was developing that magnetic personality. I am a product of Think and Grow Rich, and I'm a product of the Think and Grow Rich Institute and certified by them. And so one of the things that I really focused on was developing that magnetic personality. And it was very important as I focused on my own brand building to utilize those experiences and those lessons in my journey in helping others. And that's what I think it was the most important. It was having that versatility, but at the same time having that definiteness of purpose, of knowing exactly where it is that I wanted to go, how I wanted to get there, and to be able to maneuver and go with the flow so that those blocks or boulders that fall into our life don't become hindrances, but rather just become a stepping stone to success. It was about becoming harmonious with my inner self so that what I was projecting on the outer self was in alignment. It was very important to decide on word choice, on deciding on who was going to feed into my energy. And so these are all skills that I'm able to help clients. It's about knowing how to use your voice, the word choice, the intonation that you use. It's about volume, the pitch, and the tone that you use in which you're trying to convey things. It's about thinking thoughts that are going to become things, right? And we have a movie out about that, thoughts become things, but really, how do you use positive thoughts and the power of the mind and enthusiasm to live life passionately in every single moment? Because that passion is going to fuel your purpose. And so all of these components, Mark, are the different things that I help my customers. So who are the customers? The customers are anyone who's been stuck in their life. They could be entrepreneurs. It could be someone who has been grandfathered because of COVID and they find themselves out of work. Or you're finding yourself disillusioned because all of a sudden you realize that you have less life to live than what you've lived already. So how are you going to make each of those moments as you live forward going to count for each moment that you have left? Not just for yourself, but for every single person that you impact in the course of your day as well.
I agree with you that the mindset and thoughts are really important. What you focus on comes about. Some great points there. Do you recall a specific aha moment that led to the launch of your business?
Yes, absolutely. You mean a swift kick on the behind or a slap on the head? Yeah, absolutely. When I think I hit 46 and I went, oh my gosh, I've got less life to live than I've lived already. God, I've got to get, my act together and I've got to get myself on that path that I really want to do. Yeah, for sure. It was a very rude awakening. It was that I had towed the line for everyone else. I grew up in a very Orthodox family, I grew up in a very Orthodox community, and grew up in a culture that typically the women, even if they are brilliant and highly educated, are usually relegated to being not a second-class gender, but rather having specific gender roles. And I didn't fit those gender roles. I was trying to break out of that mold, and breaking out of the mold meant that I had to break some of those relationships. So it was not always easy, Mark, to do that. When you are entrepreneurial or you are forward thinking, often you're thinking in an area or in a realm that hasn't been approached or thought about by others. And so you're seen as either being groundbreaking or being troublemaking. And I was termed as being troublemaking because I was saying things that people found hard to say. So one of the taglines, my tagline that I have, is giving voice to the voiceless through all of the different things that I do. Who are the voiceless? The people who have the fear of being able to speak true to their passion, true to their vision, true to their mission of what they want to do in life.
I really like that, the voice of the voices. That's really, really a great way to put it. And it says exactly what you're trying to say in one sentence. So I really, really like that. What really motivates you, Annie, to jump out of bed every single day?
I'm one of those characters that God gifted enthusiasm and positive thinking to, because no matter how miserable the night before was, and I'm telling you folks, I've had those miserable moments. I suffered from situational PTSD. I lived with years of some, people in my life telling me that I was not good enough, that I wasn't up to speed or up to mark to according to what they thought I should be, and my own feelings of unworthiness. And to overcome that depression, to overcome anxiety, to overcome those moments, I was ostracized by my community, by my family. To have to overcome those huge hurdles, emotional hurdles, was huge. And so I have those moments where I have felt. So no matter how crushed I felt the night before, when I went to sleep and I woke up in the morning, I woke up, Mark, with gratitude. I woke up that I was grateful for the little things that I had in life, and those little things all add up together. So before long, I realized that I had bushelfuls of gratitude. I had bushelfuls of things that I appreciated. And that positive mindset really set how I was going to fuel my day. When you don't have people fueling you, you need to fuel yourself. And it's so important, Mark, to be able to pour into yourself. The more you pour into yourself, and this goes away from traditional thinking, because in my community, it's like if you pour into yourself, you're being selfish. No, I'm saying when you pour into yourself, you're actually giving yourself the fuel to be able to pour into other people. And that is the most important lesson that I learned when I had that aha moment.
You are so, so right. I say this all the time. The more you are grateful, more and more things come in your life to be grateful of. And we all have something to be grateful for. The shirt on our back, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, food that we eat, family, pets, looking up at the stars, the air that we breathe. There's always something to be grateful for. And I really do know the power of gratitude from using it in my own life. Now, Annie, my next question, what sets your business apart and what unique need are you filling for your customers?
Well, I think it's very important that when you're looking at personal branding, that you have your personal story. So one of the most important aspects is through the work that I do is to hone in on individuals' personal branding and their personal story. It's also to be able to bridge opportunities. So it's very important to surround yourself with people who are going to be able to help grow your vision. And so being visionary, being heart-centric, being a leader in the community, someone who is acknowledged on a world level. My alma mater has acknowledged me. I've been published as one of the top 8 media influencers. To have that international branding is that you're working with someone who has been able to take a personal brand, her own personal brand, and then extrapolate that and show how that personal brand can be seen as a global brand. So to have, whether it's, I'm here in Canada and to have our national news networks speak to me about different things, to have people reach out to me for that guidance and mentorship. It's about being able to work individually with individuals, with small companies, as well as larger companies. It's having those proven abilities in helping people gain a deeper understanding of personal branding, streamlining digital marketing strategies, and developing a more engaging and consistent personal brand.
Why is your service especially important in today's modern world?
Well, in order to refine your brand and really gain visibility, influence, and consistency, you need to be able to take your brand and message or your course from what's regular and mediocre to phenomenal and outstanding. So in order to do that, you need to have and strategize those things that are going to take your voice and make it big. So every dream really needs actions for it to become successful. What I'm able to do is eliminate those confusions that you have, refine your actions, really strategize your branding, your marketing plan, and map that out consistently across various platforms and in everything that you're saying and doing through your personal story so that there is a consistency of brand.
And I know how your work is such a high standard, Annie. I know the determination, the focus. I know how hard you work, and you're a perfectionist. You get things perfect. It looks amazing. I really admire the work you're doing, but for our listeners who don't know you, can you just share a few more details of the kind of services and products that you offer?
Yes, absolutely. So basically, I work in front and behind the camera. I'm a professional photographer. I also do graphic design, website content development, digital branding. My team and I work on promoting your work through media. So whether it is through print media, whether it is radio, I have that as well. I also work at helping you do content creation for your brand. So whatever it is in terms of the realm of branding and strategizing, whether it's one-on-one mentorship, whether it is that you need more exposure, whether you need to have a place where you can get heard and seen. These are different components of the branding strategy, whether you have a need to be seen visibly on different podcasts, that access is there. So everything within media consultancy, from international media coverage to local media coverage, website optimization, marketing services. All of these components are different things that myself and my tech team are able to do and support in.
And that is why we're like twins. we're like brother and sisters from another mother, because we just do exactly the same things, but in different, unique ways. We both have different, unique ways of doing the same thing, and that's why we're such great friends, Annie. Now, I know you have all sorts of client success stories, and we would be here all day, but can you just pick one that really stands out in your mind?
Absolutely. And I think this is one that came to me just recently. And Mark, it was when one of my clients that I mentor was having an exceptionally dark moment and wasn't able to, in this realm of having to move from a gym to something where it was digital. And it's very hard for many people to be able to think about, how am I going to monetize my business that has now been wiped out because I have to work from home or work from a space that I'm not used to working from, and how do I monetize it? This individual had gone into a very dark headspace, and it was a matter of several conversations in which I was able to pour into this individual to show them that there is so much to offer. If you think of one door that closed and you're only looking at that closed door, you're not able to see the other doors that have been opened.
Yes.
And so it's so important to see that when one door closes, another one does open, and that open door will lead you to other opportunities that may be bigger and better. And so because he was able to speak to me that he was struggling and he was really in a dark space, and through the efforts of conversation, just chat even, I was able to show him that there are other opportunities, there are other different things. So if you're struggling right now with your brand, you're struggling with how to strategize, you're struggling with what to do, reach out to the people that are in your world, reach out to the people that have the experience, who are going to give you the sound advice. It does not mean that you need to invest oodles and oodles of money, because that's the other thing, is when you are talking to someone and they are immediately pitching you something, you got to be having your guard up. Because if you've reached out to someone and they're just asking you for support, be a listener. Pay attention to what it is that they're saying, and then serve them more than you're serving yourself.
Great words of advice there, Annie. I love a success story, and you really are who you say you are. Annie is a person of collaboration. I myself collaborate with her, and she does do things not just to get back. She does them from the kindness of her heart, and she really does support people. She supported me, and she really is walking the walk and talking the talk. How do clients typically hear about you, Annie? And are there certain life moments that usually lead to them seeking you out?
Well, I'm on all of the different social media platforms. In terms of being seen, I'm a internationally awarded model and actress as well, and so my work is seen on both North American platforms for commercials. My film work is seen globally. So that is one thing. So if you hear my voice right now and you're inclined to want to have me to speak something for you, get in touch with either Mark. Mark will know how to get a hold of me. Or you can find me on social media under Annie J. Koshy, Media Consultant. On Facebook, you can find me under my company name as well, which is GTA South Asia Media Network. I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn. So under LinkedIn, you can find me under Annie Joseph Koshy. And that's the best way to get a hold of me, whether it's for local work, such as photography work, which I can do or my team can do, whether it is website work, or you need some work with graphics or brand development, that I can work globally. I have clients all over the world.
Annie, I have really enjoyed having a conversation with you today, and I love the work that you are doing in this world. Is there anything we did not cover that you would like to share?
Well, I think that every single person should go out and be their badass self, Mark. I think be your full glorified self, live every single day, every single moment to your full passion, because if you're not living your life with passion, there really is nothing worth living. And so everything you do, you should pour your full heart and soul into, whether it is that you're just cooking a meal, or whether it is cleaning your house, or whether it's spending time with your family, or you are actually dedicating that time to building your business. Whatever it is, make sure that it is your passion that is fueling your purpose, and vice versa. And that's going to be a cycle that's going to fuel you as an individual.
What a great way to finish the show. And you heard it here first from Annie Koshy. Be your badass self. Annie, thank you so much for being on the Brilliance Business Show.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I've really enjoyed having a conversation with you. You have been listening to the Brilliance Business Show, conversations with leading experts in business.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.